Hey everyone, it's Blair here at Time Trades. Thanks for joining me this Sunday. It is February 19th and this is your weekly video. Okay, so we're going to start as usual with a review of last week's forecast, and I would give myself probably an A-, B+ on this one, simply because I got the high of the week on Wednesday. The forecast was the yellow line, of course, and I got the low of the week on Friday. Of course, the magnitude is different, is off a little bit. I forecasted a little bit of a higher magnitude drop into later in the week than what we actually saw. That's probably a sign of some underlying strength in the market still. But overall, very good forecast. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you is just a reminder of what's happening on March 1st. So we do have a pricing update coming for brand new customers. I want to make sure everyone's aware of this change so that you've got an opportunity to join Time Trades at the lower prices in the next 11 days or so. No, that'd be more like, 9 days. So the prices for a monthly subscription are going up to $39 on March 1st. A yearly is going up to $350. We've already extended the trial to 14 days. So you can take advantage of that right away. Existing customers have no price change. And just as a reminder, all of these subscriptions include access to the TradingView script, embedding and incorporating these timing signals into TradingView is an important part of Time Trades. Okay, so I would like to continue with the theme of educating you on what Time Trades can do by sharing some of the top features of Time Trades. I got a question from a new customer, and I thought it was a very good one. He wanted to know what are the top 2 or 3 features of Time Trades that can really improve his trading. So in today's video, I'm going to focus in on Gann Fans and Gann Waves. All right, so Gann Fans I've been talking a lot about lately. This is in line with the theme of this year, which is confirmation. So let's start by taking a look at how they appear in Time Trades. And I'm going to use 2 examples here. I'm going to start with Apple. Okay, and if you just type Apple into the Time Trades web application, this is what you'll see. So in order to turn on Gann Fans, you need to go to the menu and you need to turn on Gann Fans over here. And the purpose of Gann Fans is really to reflect the rate of vibration and capture the rate of vibration of the stock. And normally it's actually quite challenging to do that, because in typical charting applications, you have to draw a whole bunch of trend lines. They're going to be at different angles. They're going to be intersecting each other. And it's a lot of manual effort. So Time Trades makes it easy to draw your Gann Fans and understand the overall rate of vibration of the stock, because it automatically identifies pivots from where to draw the fans from. So you can see here, there's a pivot on August 17th. That's a high. You can see, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. You can see these 3 fans that are coming from that high on August 17th. There's a second pivot low on October 13th, and there's also 3 lines coming up from there. Time Trades also draws fans coming from 0 underneath pivot lows. So that's how WD Gann drew his fans. Now, you might look at this and be a little bit overwhelmed with all the lines on the screen. Really, you should see this as a feature and not a bug, because it does let you change the aspect ratio of the chart and alter and update all of these fans all at once. Because one of the things you'll notice right now with the chart aspect ratio set to auto in the bottom right, as I scroll through it, the angle of the lines will change because the price range is different, the time range is different. So as I scroll through it and stretch and squish, the angles of the lines change. Okay, so that's not very meaningful. So to add meaning to the Gann fans, what we need to do is we need to manually set the aspect ratio. So to do that easily, you can drag the price axis up and down. Now, the trick in doing this is to watch, like pick one Gann fan and watch how it intersects price. And when you get the angle right, you will see how multiple lines from the same fan touch price in a way that makes sense, creates support and resistance levels. So I'm just going to zoom in here and make it a little bit more obvious. Okay, so this is the fan we're watching, is the highlighted one in yellow. And as I move the line up and down, we can see here that we've got a very good hit on price here from the lower line. It touches here, here, and a breakout over here is meaningful, and then it provides support over here on November 4th, and that's great. Now, what about the middle line, right? Well, we got the middle line providing resistance here on October 28th, and we have it providing resistance as well in November through December. And then as price broke out here, a breakout above this line was meaningful. So this would look like to be a good aspect ratio. So time trades will remember that aspect ratio for you. So that's shown in the bottom right there, 0.368. And the cool thing is that aspect ratio can be directly typed into TradingView. So you can square the chart, basically set the aspect ratio here in time trades, and then import that work into TradingView so that it's easily replicated and you can see these lines on lower time frames. And we can see over here that the upper fan from this line is also providing resistance for the last couple of weeks here. So if we scroll back in time, we just want to double check to make sure, you know, are the other fans that come from other pivot highs and lows, are these also providing good signals? And it looks like in general they are, because one of the things I look for is that are breakouts above these lines meaningful? Do they tend to trend? It looks like this lower line here provides solid resistance. It looks like there's a couple of fake outs here in June. So that looks meaningful. The other thing I'm also looking for here is, you know, in this line here, we can see it provides resistance. It provides resistance. So it's really important to look for separation above these Gann fans. The other thing I like to look for is, you know, do the fans sort of tag, like sometimes it's good to see a lower fan tag the start of a brand new fan. If you want to achieve that, you can just drag the price axis a little bit and boom, there we go. So now that we get a very nice touch there. The other thing that'll tell you that you've got a good aspect ratio is big, strong moves that jump over Gann fans. So we can see here in April of 2020, we can see like a nice gap that jumped up over the Gann, the one-by-one Gann fan. And that tends to be very important and indicates changes in trend. Okay, so that's Apple. I wanted to maybe do another example here. So let's go over to the models page and we can take a look at, we can sort the models page by number of trading days. So you can choose the number of trading days that you want to look at the mean probabilities of moves. So these columns here that indicate just the means of the machine learning calculated pivots on the chart page. So really all I'm doing here in time trades is just taking the, so let's take this example here, analog devices. All I'm doing here is taking the pivot high probabilities, pivot low probabilities, and averaging them over the next 15 or 30 trading days. So that is what appears in the models page here. So you can use this basically as a little scanner. You can kind of choose the time frame that you're interested in, and then look for the top symbols that have the highest pivot low probabilities, pivot high probabilities, and probabilities of a move up. So what we can do is, if you're, let's say you're bullish, you have a bullish bias, you can look for the symbol that has the highest probability of a 2 standard deviation move up, and we'll go with the first one here. It's called ABBV. This is a pharmaceutical stock, and we've already turned on Gann Fans here. Okay, so we'll go back to the beginning, and Gann Fans are on, but the system is automatically scaling the chart. Okay, so we still have to manually scale the chart, and we can grab the price axis and we can scale it down to where we get some nice touches between the lower bar here. You can see it's providing support. The middle bar, we can see that there's a big strong bar jumping up and over the 1 by 1, and then it provides support afterwards. And now we're over here, and we've got a big cluster of Gann Fans, like about 4 of them right underneath price. So this is providing a lot of support here. So this is definitely in a bullish configuration. So using Gann Fans, you can very quickly identify stocks that are strong, stocks that are weak, just by looking at where they are relative to a recent 1 by 1 fan. So in this case, I would call ABBV moderately bullish, because relative to the latest fan that starts over here on September 30th, it's below the 1 by 1. However, it's strongly above the prior pivot high fan, because the 1 by 1 down is way over here at 127 or less, and prices up at 150. So I would call this moderately bullish. I wouldn't call this strongly bullish until it gets up and over the 1 by 1 here. But it looks like with all of the green in the forecast here for ABBV, there's potential to push up and over this most recent 1 by 1. Okay, so that's the first feature I wanted to cover. The number 1 feature I wanted to cover in time trades is Gann Fans, and how useful it is to very quickly get an accurate squaring of the chart. And by squaring the chart, I mean determining the aspect ratio down here, and also very quickly determine, you know, if there should be a bullish or bearish bias on a symbol. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one, which is Gann Waves. So for Gann Waves, I'm going to use this to build a new forecast for the coming week. So if we go over to TradingView here, and we're going to use the TradingView script, and I've got this configured so that we're only showing Gann Waves and magic levels. There's a bunch of other stuff to display in TradingView, but we're just going to focus on the Gann Waves. Now, one of the things I want to call your attention to is the sequence of yellows and blues. Okay, so they appear roughly every 2 weeks. This is a lunar cycle, but you can get some very important clues as to major pivots and when they're going to happen. The starting point in interpreting these is just understand that a normal Gann wave sequence is that price at a blue should be lower than price at yellow. Okay, so that is quote unquote normal, right? So if blue is lower than the prior yellow, that's normal. Okay, if yellow is lower or the same as the prior blue, then that indicates that there's probably going to be a bearish inversion. And that's what's happening here in April as we come down from the April high. Yellow price is below the prior blue, so that's indicating strongly lower into the next blue, and we got that. Okay, after that we revert to normal behavior where yellow is above blue. Okay, so that's good. Now normal behavior after this would be blue below yellow, and we got that. So that's following the conventional rules. Now after this, in June 15th, we see yellow very slightly above blue. In fact, you'll see this pattern a lot where at a pivot, yellow and blue can be at the same price. And in fact, between June 15th, June 29th, and July 13th, that's two blues and a yellow that were all at the same price. So this is starting to indicate a change in trend, right? So remember normal behavior, blue is below yellow. So blue next yellow is up. So given we had 3 straight Gann waves at more or less the same price, we got a solid move up as we revert to normal behavior. Okay, and now we get a bullish inversion where blue is above yellow. Okay, now after a bullish inversion, for the trend to continue, yellow should be significantly above blue, and it wasn't, and that really indicated that the August high was in. Okay, and again we get this scenario where price at blue is at the same price as yellow, right? And halfway between there at the Gann wave green, which is sort of halfway between blue and yellow, that was pretty much the top of that August correction. So now we revert to normal behavior where yellow is above blue, and we fall down into the low on September 6th. We get a bit of a bounce here up into the Gann wave green. And then we get another indication that there's going to be a bearish inversion here because yellow is at basically the same price as blue. So if we revert to normal behavior, then blue's below yellow, and we drop down hard into October. Now, here we are in October, and we've got 2 straight prices, 2 straight Gann waves at basically the same price. And then we get a bullish inversion where blue is above yellow, okay? And that indicates higher prices at the next cycle. We got that. And now we end up really with another sequence where we've got 3 straight Gann waves at the same price. Okay, this indicates a change in trend. We've got yellow here, we've got blue November 28th, we've got yellow December 9th, and then we revert to normal behavior, which is blue below yellow, and we fall into the low on December 23rd, which is just a few days before the main low, which was December 28th. And now, could we have forecast this January pump using Gann waves? Well, the answer is yes. Because we have blue and yellow at the same price here, right? And when we know when we get that, we're starting to look at a change in trend. And then we get this bullish inversion where blue is above yellow because normal behavior is blue is below. So when blue is above yellow, that's forecasting higher prices for the next yellow, and boom, there we go. December 2 was the high of this latest bullish move. So now where do we stand? Well, we've got Gann wave yellow here that happened on Thursday, February 2nd. And we just had a Gann Wave blue on Thursday last week. And oh, look at that. Another indication of a change in trend, because we've got two Gann waves at basically the same price. The bars overlap. So this is telling me that it's likely that price is going to come down. We've got our green guardrails here. So these are, I talked about these in the video 1 or 2 weeks ago. So this is based on some long-term research, and it's basically giving us some very, very high risk reward potential trades here. Separating above green indicates to me that we could target close to 15,000 near the end of the year. Separating below green, and we're back in major bear market, targeting close to the COVID lows. So these green lines are very, very important to me. So I'm watching them, and I'm going to share that interpretation with you here. Basically what I'm looking for in the upcoming forecast is you can see last week's forecast here in this yellow. It basically follows the Gann waves up until the March equinox, right? And based on what we're seeing in the price action that we saw last week, I think we may see a high a little bit earlier here. I'm not sure we can make it all the way to March 2nd and see a high. One of the things you'll notice is that highs often occur on the green after the blue, right? So that's one of the things I've got in mind here. Here's another example of the green after the blue on September 12th. Also happened on August 15th. Okay, so that's one scenario where I'm anticipating here. Again, we want to wait for confirmation before taking action, but I'm just going to adjust last week's forecast by sliding that point over a little bit. I actually think it might be a little bit lower. But I do think we get another little pump up to just suck in a few more bulls before they drop it down into the March equinox. Now, the behavior around here for me is going to be really important. I will want to see it I can tolerate a deviation below this green line, but not a big separation below. So I really think that we're going to see price tag somewhere in this green rectangle here between the magic levels and right around this Gann Wave blue. So there's your updated forecast for the next few weeks. Hopefully it'll end up being as accurate as the last week, but we shall see. Okay, so that's the new forecast. We're going to do a quick review of crypto and Indian stocks before we sign off here. So when we look at Bitcoin, we're still seeing quite a bit of strength here. And we're looking at a 4-hour chart. We've got Gann waves here. The Gann Wave yellow and Gann Wave blue are very close in price. Okay. But prices come back quite strongly after that drop on Thursday. So it's challenging the recovery high up here at 25,200. When we look at the time trades forecast for Bitcoin, let's go over to time trades and take a look. So this chart has been squared. I've got the Gann waves configured where I want them to be. We see very little in terms of down pressure in the future, and Bitcoin is well above the upper Gann fan. So it's in a fairly bullish configuration here. I wouldn't be surprised to see this push up higher into later in February. We do see a cluster of down days here in March. So coming down into, again, the March equinox. and a pivot low in early February. So I do think that we chop higher. I'm not seeing a setup for a big push higher. So it might be, you know, some very relatively slow by Bitcoin standards move up here into late February, early March, before a drop down into the equinox. Okay, so that's the Bitcoin forecast. Let's take a quick look at India and the Nifty 50. Again, we've got our chart squared here. We are showing the Gann Fans, and we can see the Gann Fan up from the June 17 low has caught price, and price is tracking that, following that upwards. So that's a bullish indication. We still see this cluster of pivot lows over here in early March. It may be a little bit early to switch bullish on the Nifty, so we'll give it another couple weeks, let this play out. I do think we will end up getting to some lower prices here before this pivot hits. I do think, however, this one by one down will hold, and this magic level will likely hold as well. So I think a floor under price is, you know, looking just in the recent past over here at, you know, just under 17,000, maybe 16,800 is kind of the lowest I would see the Nifty going over the next couple weeks. So that's our update for this week. I hope you learned something. Thanks again for using time trades, and we will talk again next week. Bye now.